Come here, son, nephew, young man. Let me holler at you. People have to learn, men in particular, but people, it applies to whatever gender. People have to learn to respect processes. Everybody wants everything to happen right away, right now, and the way they want it to. That's not how the real world works. If you are able to achieve something or attain something without going through the process, you won't appreciate it and you won't understand how to maintain it. When you go through a process, and the more difficult the process is, you learn the ins and outs of whatever profession, whatever industry, whatever culture, and you appreciate it because it costs a piece of you and it costs your time, which is the most valuable commodity on the planet, because when you lose it, you can't get it back. These women y'all worried about chasing, hey man, if a woman leaves, you can get another woman. If you lose some money, you can actually make more money. It'll take you some time to do it, but it can be done depending on how much you lose. But when you lose your time, you cannot get it back. There's also something to be said for the experience that you gain going through a process as well. Let's take a common process, a college degree. And I need to halfway correct myself on something. I may have sounded as if I was totally downplaying degrees in the past. That's not the case. I have multiple degrees. I probably did need to get all of them. But then again, the master's degree, it didn't add much to my pay scale. But getting certified to be an administrator in the school system, that allowed me to be in a position to manage people, manage budgets, to be able to create structure underneath the elbow of whatever school system I was at. So I did learn some things that I may not have learned otherwise. And having credentials, it makes you marketable. I could go to Atlanta, Georgia, depending on where I want to go work at or what district I work in. I could get up to about 75 or 80 grand as a teacher with a educational specialist degree. I could go to DC if I was willing to put up with the politics in DC public schools and make six figures and live on the outskirts in Virginia. Or I could get about 75, 80 grand in Prince George's County. So going through that process, number one, it gives me a better understanding. Number two, it allows me to reach out farther. But if I only went through the process or didn't go through any process, because when I first started, my very first job in education was that of a substitute while I was still in college. So if I never went through the process, I do suppose I'd be doing something else, but I would have had to go through another process to get where I am now. And this is not the end. I'm not retired. I haven't reached the pinnacle, but I'm still going through more processes because I understand to become a greater man and to set the very best possible example for my own children and the generation to come, and to make some corrections for information that the previous generation of my lineage didn't have. It takes somebody going through a process to improve. It takes time. You have to sacrifice some things. It ain't gonna go the way you want it to. Now you got folks graduating from school and they think they're supposed to go straight to the top of the corporate ladder. Man, at 19, 20 years old, you ain't learned how to manage yourself. At 22, 23, you're just possibly learning how to. But by the time you hit 30, you have a whole different perspective. And I'm not saying you can't be a young executive or a young owner. I'm just saying you will be adding more and more to your toolbox the longer you go through the process. Fine jewelry, the gas in your vehicle, even the house that you live in, it all went through a process. What makes you think you don't have to? Apply that to any area of life and you will see good fortune in whatever it is you are attempting to achieve. Go through the process. Learn the process. Appreciate the process. The process is a blessing. The process keeps you from going backwards if you go through the process and learn and appreciate and internalize every aspect of it. Please share this content. I guarantee you there are people who need it. Also, you're welcome to hit the like button. You're welcome to leave comments. You're welcome to subscribe. Merchandise is available. Also, if you want to support the channel, I'll put my Cash App in the description. And as always, never lose the will to win and never lose the will to survive.